Hello, this is Thomas Donald Jacobs for Paperboys on Thursdays, and today's topic is men's bathrooms and locker rooms. How did you learn to navigate those spaces, and what do you wish that you had known beforehand? Um, I have nothing to say about locker rooms, mainly because I don't exercise. I'm a grad student, so when it comes to men's bathrooms, I think the hardest thing for me was that here in Belgium, a lot of public bathrooms, especially in high traffic areas like train stations, have a bathroom attendant. So that was kind of the first hurdle to clear. Um, and if you look like you're uncertain about which bathroom you think you should be using, the bathroom attendant will decide for you, um, which led to some weird situations. On the very same day, in the morning, I was directed to a women's restroom, and then at the very same place later that day, directed to the men's restroom, which I think kind of goes to show how ridiculous and arbitrary the entire notion of gendered bathrooms is. Um, anyways, uh, what I found out though was that if you walk confidently to the bathroom of your choice, the bathroom attendant is not inclined to say anything to you. I only had one situation where the bathroom attendant tried to direct me to the other bathroom after already entering the men's room, and I just pretended like I did not hear him, and he moved away. Um, in another situation, there was another guy in the bathroom. I was waiting for a stall, and he approached me and began to express his view that I did not belong there. And the bathroom attendant actually came in and told him to mind his own business, um, and didn't say anything to me. So it turned out actually not to be that big a deal. That guy was just one asshole, and there are assholes everywhere. So nothing you can do about it. That was mostly it. So long as you, even if you don't think you look like you belong there, so long as you act like you belong there, and you're not doing anything that you shouldn't, no one is gonna say anything to you. Uh, Not here in Belgium, at least. Things that I wish that I had known before. First, um, Belgian law actually says that all public bathrooms are open to all persons of all genders. So I kind of wish that I had known that. Even if that guy had continued to throw a little hissy fit about me being in there, the law was on my side. Didn't matter what he thought. Um, I wasn't doing anything wrong. Second, I wish that I had known that not going pee when you really have to can cause health problems. Um, if you go for too many years making a regular practice of holding it for hours on end, you can wind up with bladder problems and chronic urinary tract infections. And since I used to plan my day around when and where I was going to use the bathroom in order to avoid um, using the women's room, um, and then later the men's room when I wasn't comfortable doing it yet, that hasn't worked out too well for me. So I can't stress this enough. If you gotta go, you gotta go. Um, Seems kind of obvious. Use the accessible or family bathroom if you must, but don't make a practice of holding it for hours on end. You will regret it, and it is not worth it. And I guess the last thing that I wish that I had known was that menstruation is actually not that big a deal. I had a lot of dysphoria about that, and when I first started to transition, um, before I started taking testosterone, Shark Week was still a thing for me. And I had a lot of anxiety about how to deal with that, especially in the bathroom, because most men's public restrooms do not have a wastebasket for personal hygiene items. So I had a lot of fear about that and, what to do during Shark Week with those items. Eventually, it happened that I had to throw something away, and I put it in the wastebasket next to the sink in the more public area of the bathroom. And one of my colleagues saw me exiting the stall with uh, something. And even though it was wrapped up, I think he probably might have known what it was. What else would I be then throwing away in the wastebasket? And also, I'm out at work, so two and two doesn't take a genius. But he didn't say anything to me. He glanced and then looked right away. So, the thing about that is, most cisgender guys, I think, have a default position when it comes to menstruation, which is that menstruation is a thing that happens, but only in theory. It doesn't happen to them. And as far as they're concerned, by and large, it doesn't happen to anyone. Uh, so, you know, having to deal with Shark Week in a men's restroom over the course of a year, I think taught me too that it was happening, no matter how much I desperately wanted to pretend that it wasn't. I mean, that was kind of my default position as well, I have to say. Shark Week would roll around, and in my head, it would be, this shit isn't happening, not to me. I was really confronted by it, and also confronted by the fact that it's not a big deal. Um, I really had to struggle with my dysphoria around that, and had to ultimately come to the conclusion that it didn't make me less of a man. No one actually gave a shit, and it's not unnatural. It's not an illness or something bad or dirty. Menstrual blood is just a thing, and having your period is like sneezing. You have no control over it, and it's just a thing that your body's going to do. Not a big deal. Um, that was something that I wish that I had known before, because I would have worried less. And I guess that's what most of this boils down to. Worry less. Sort of the general theme of several of these past vlogs, I think. So, I will see you next week. Bye. Bye.